What's up, guys? TC Muse. Let's get into how I make organic hip hop, jazz, and soul. Now, for the sounds, one of the things you're going to want to look for or make your work easier is to maybe look into packs or expansion packs or sample packs that may already be in the vein that you are looking to make. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using Native Instruments crate cuts for the drums, and then I'm going to be using Arturia's Inner City Soul expansion kit for all of the non-drum elements. So that's the bass, that's going to be the keys, and also the leads. Now, usually for the Moonchild or the more kind of upbeat neo-soul stuff, what I like to do is quantize at about 75%. But also put the triplets on so I can get a little bit of that swing just incorporated into how I'm playing. Cool, now that we got that in, let's move over to the hi-hats. One of the things I like to do with my hi-hats is use a little bit of different velocity. So I have my high velocity here on my drum pad, and then I can vary the velocity here on my key, playing the same sample. But what I can do here is give like a little bit of a rhythmic bounce. Let's go ahead and program that in. Cool. Now that we got the drums program, what we want to do is figure out what we want to do harmonically. So I'm going to keep this in the key of C. I'm going to use the number system to basically build my chord progression. So a lot of neo soul and R&B is based on the 2s, the 6s, and the 4s. Not everything, but you can get a lot done with just using chord progressions that center around your 2, your 6, and your 4. So in the key of C, that's going to be a D minor. So let's count that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know we're going to be using D as the 2, A as the 6, and F as the 4. Now, one of the things I like to do if I'm having trouble coming up with chords is I'll just put in the root note of how I want the harmony to go. So let's just play around with it. So I think that was cool. So I'm just gonna flush it out. I know that we have a D minor here, and then we have an A here. I'm going to play that F. Now, the one thing that you may see me play that's outside of the white keys is this diminished chord here. And that's basically just stacking thirds. So from here, I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, and that's just going to be used as a passing chord that gets us back to our D minor, which is our 2. Let's go ahead and program something in. Now that we've got our basics in, we want to throw in some embellishments and kind of just flavor it up. So, throwing in some trills here or there, some walk ups and some walk downs. So you can kind of experiment to see what works for you. Let's program something in. Now that we got our primary element in there, what we want to do, or at least what I like to do, is put in a secondary element kind of as a texture to keep the pulse, keep things moving forward, but not draw too much attention to itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a pad. I shortened it, and I'm going to play some of the common tones of the chords, trying not to move too much. So I'm going to stay in this area, using the A, D, and E, and then lastly the G that's common to all of the chords that I'm playing here. Let's get it in. And what I'm going to do is just play a pulse and just keep it straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, let's check it out. So now that we got down our drums and the majority of our harmonic elements, what we want to do is go back and revisit the low end by putting in a bass line. So what we want to do with our bass line is make sure that it's not too busy, and we don't want something that's crazy, rhythmic, intensive. So something in between, just a basic note on the 1 and something that has fills. All right, let's get into it. The last element that we're going to put in is some type of lead. Since we don't have a vocalist, we'll just use a lead sound to kind of put something in a higher register on top. Now, we don't want to do anything crazy because somebody may want to come over and sing over this. So we just want something to kind of fill up that high register. Nothing crazy because it's easy to get noticed in that high register, but just something to have in there to keep a melody on top. Let's program something in. All right, y'all. So that's how I put together organic hip hop, jazz, and soul. Hopefully you were able to learn something. Look to do a couple more of these as we continue. In the meantime, stay up.